Welcome to Moving to Portugal Daily, episode 97. I'm Mateus Costa. Today we dive into bank narrative, how to build a SEF-ready 90-day financial story for D7 and D8 proof, with practical steps to help you relocate smarter and live better in Portugal.
Hook. Imagine this. Your SEF appointment goes well. You hand over your bank statements, and the officer flips through pages of small, irregular transfers. Different currencies, the same amounts arriving from many countries, invoices that don't match transfers. You feel your case getting thinner by the minute. SEF looks for a clear, readable story. When your transactions read like noise, it raises questions. A focused 90-day bank narrative fixes that by turning scattered entries into a simple, believable income timeline. Promise, in the next 9 minutes, you'll get a 3-part blueprint: income routing tactics, documentation pairing rules, and bank behavior habits. I'll give exact memo wording, invoice timing templates, and a 48-hour action to start cleaning your trail. By the end, you'll know the ethical boundaries to respect and the one habit that causes most rejections.
First, the concept. What is a bank narrative? Think of your bank statement as a report you're writing for an auditor. SEF and finances don't just read numbers, they read patterns and explanations. A narrative is simply consistent income flows, documented contracts or invoices, and matching payment memos that tie each transfer to work or gifts you can substantiate. Ethically, this means using only real income and truthful memos, no fabricated invoices, and no attempts to hide taxable income. Keep it honest, keep it traceable, and make it easy to follow.
Step 1. Income routing. The goal is predictable cadence. Pick 1 or 2 primary receiving accounts, ideally a Portuguese account for regular living transfers and 1 foreign account for direct client payments. Options: cadence-based billing for clients, weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly, scheduled transfers from foreign to local accounts on fixed days, or splitting income across accounts by category, clients in one account, passive income in another. Keep amounts within reasonable ranges for your declared income level. Example memo wording that reads well to SEF: freelance web development, invoice 123, May 2026. For recurring retainer clients, use monthly retainer, consultancy, May 2026. Short, explicit memos reduce ambiguity and make linking invoices to bank entries trivial. Be tactical. Use scheduled transfers on the same weekday each month and avoid lots of small patchwork transfers. If a client pays you in a non-euro currency, transfer it to your Portuguese account on the same day or within a predictable window and annotate the memo: client payment, converted to euro, invoice number. This shows a consistent habit rather than random movement. Step 2. Documentation pairing. Every incoming transfer you want SEF to trust should have a paired document: invoice, contract, receipt, or explicit email confirmation. Create a simple folder structure and name files to match bank memos exactly. Invoice 123, May 2026, client name, .pdf. Timing rules matter. Issue the invoice before or on the date of transfer, or within 3 days after if the client pays quickly. Use short invoice notes like service monthly content creation, period 01/05/2026 to 31/05/2026, and include your name, tax number if applicable, and the client's details. When you then show an officer invoice 123 alongside the matching transfer line and memo, the story is immediate and convincing. Template examples to use now. Payment memo. Invoice 123, web services, May 2026. Invoice header. Invoice 123, web development, client Ltd, period, May 2026. Amount, Euro X. Payment method, bank transfer. Notes, monthly retainer. Contract clause. Add a short billing cadence clause such as, client agrees to monthly payment on the 5th of each month by bank transfer against invoice. These small, repeatable phrases make transactions legible. Step 3. Bank behavior and habits. Create predictable patterns. Frequency, aka 1 or 2 incoming payments per week. Amounts, keep them consistent with your declared monthly average. And local account usage. Use a Portuguese account for living expenses and consolidated transfers. Avoid red flags like a sudden large deposit without contract, frequent transfers from many unrelated payers, or rapid movement of funds through multiple accounts. Daily habits to support credibility: reconcile your statement weekly, pair invoices within 48 hours of receipt, and keep a simple spreadsheet that maps invoice numbers to transfer dates. That spreadsheet becomes your internal dossier when you meet SEF. A few practical rules to avoid issues. Limit transfer chains. Don't route funds through 3 intermediary accounts. Keep transfers rounded to realistic figures. And avoid using personal messages in memos that contradict the invoice. For example, don't write loan if it's an invoice. If you receive a one-off gift from family, document it with a short letter from the sender and a clear memo: gift from first name, family support. That transparency reduces misunderstanding. Tie-ins, grooming, and communication for in-person SEF or finances meetings. How you present yourself matters because it complements the written story. Dress tidy and neutral. Clean shirt, well-kept hair, and simple accessories. Bring neatly printed, well-organized documents and sleeves, a 1-page dossier summary, and a digital backup. Speak calmly. Make eye contact, and use concise phrases to explain your income source. I work remotely as a freelance developer, I invoice monthly to Client Limited, and I consolidate payments here into my Portuguese account. Small details, firm handshake, clear speech, and a tidy dossier reduce skepticism. It's not about impressing. It's about signaling that your life is organized and traceable.
Real Nomad example and the common mistake to avoid. I worked with a freelancer who had a calendar of inconsistent payments, multiple small transfers from different platforms, and late invoices. SEF flagged several months as unclear. We fixed it by consolidating income streams into 2 accounts, issuing retroactive invoices for the recent 3 months with clear invoice numbers and memos, and setting a regular transfer cadence. At renewal, the officer reviewed the new 3-month narrative and approved the case. The most common mistake? Random, unsupported transfers and mismatched paperwork. Consistency beats complexity every time.
Immediate action, your 48-hour checklist. 1. Create or open a Portuguese account if you don't have one. 2. Export the last 90 days of bank statements into a PDF. 3. Match every incoming transfer to an invoice, contract, or email. Rename the files to match the bank memo. 4. For any unmatched transfers, prepare a short explanatory note or request a retroactive invoice from the payer. 5. Set up a calendar rule. Schedule transfers or invoice issuance on fixed days each month. Start this now, and you'll have the skeleton of a 90-day narrative within 2 days. If you want templates, sample memos, invoice headers, contract clauses, and a 1-page dossier checklist, we built those inside the Nomad Life Success course. The course includes downloadable templates you can copy and adapt, plus a 1-page dossier review option where we look at your 90-day narrative and give feedback. Quick note on risks. Never fabricate documents or create unnecessarily complex transfer chains. If you're unsure about tax obligations, consult an accountant. These steps are about clarity and traceability, not avoidance. Final recap. 3 parts. Income routing with predictable cadence, documentation pairing with matched file names and invoice timing, and bank behavior that looks consistent and local. Complete the 48-hour checklist, tidy your dossier, and prepare a neat, confident presentation for SEF. Portugal rewards preparation, and small daily habits create big lifestyle wins. If you're ready to accelerate, join Nomad Life Success for the templates and the 1-page dossier review. Use the course materials to implement the 90-day narrative step by step, and book a quick review to get targeted feedback on memos and invoice language. Start with the 48-hour checklist I mentioned. Take 1 action today and 1 more tomorrow, and you'll already be moving in the right direction. Portugal isn't just a destination, it's your optimized new beginning. That's your daily Portugal blueprint. Start applying 1 thing this week. Build the foundation before you arrive. Optimize your life while you relocate, and remember, small daily habits create big lifestyle wins. I'm Mateus Costa. See you tomorrow on Moving to Portugal Daily.